ran into the herd and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it. And he took the butter, milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they all did eat. So he cooked them a meal. And they said unto him, these angels can eat. And they said unto him, where is Sarah thy wife? They already know. They're just going to ask him anyway. And he said, behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind him. So she's eavesdropping on these men's conversation. Typical wife. He knows it. Now, Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. She wouldn't have no period no more. No ovulation. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself. Well, she laughed just like Abraham laughed. Like husband, like wife. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, I done grown old now. I'm an old hen. I ain't producing no eggs. After I done waxed old, and shall I have pleasure with my Lord? Shall I have sex with this old goat? We both old, but he's older than me. He's 10 years. Let's put some flesh and blood on this. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall of a surety shall I bear a child when I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? No. At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not. She lied. She gonna lie to God. God, the angels of God is representing. The angels represent God, so she lied to God. Said, I didn't say that. I didn't laugh. God reads the thoughts, the mind. She laughed within herself, but God heard it. See, we naked and exposed to God. Your thoughts are naked and exposed. God scanning your brain. He reads your mind. You can't hide nothing from it. Then Sarah denied, she lied. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not, for she was afraid. And he said, no, but you did laugh. The angel said, no, you're lying. You did laugh. And the men rose up from there and looked toward Sodom. And Abraham went with them to bring them in the way. They're on their way to destroy Sodom after they left Abraham. And to get Lot out of there. His nephew went down there and got in trouble. Now, she ended up conceiving, just like God said. And God, God separated the two. Said the child of the free, Ishmael from Isaac. After Isaac was born, Ishmael mocked him. And the Apocrypha is more graphic. The word that could be used for mocked also could mean molest. And Sarah horsewhipped them out of there. And it said that, and the lesson was the child of the free should not dwell with the child of the slave. The child of bondage will not dwell with the child of promise. And that carried over, and Paul used that example in the New Testament. That is born of the Spirit, or of the Spirit, those of the flesh are flesh. Now, when he translated that into those trying to keep the law, those trying to keep, that's under the curse of bondage of the law, and trying to bring those that are free into submission of keeping Sabbaths, and keeping new moons, and keeping the kosher laws of the Old Testament. Christ died for us and set us free from the curse of the law. It made a curse for us. Paul used that teaching in Romans and Galatians. And he said, throw the bondwoman out with her children. The Pharisee types, the legalists. And I've been doing it for years. They don't dwell with me, I smoke them out and get rid of them. They done tortured Brother Jay enough in the past. And I learned the lesson the hard way. And take a note from Sarah, who did get it together later and had enough faith in God to produce this miracle child. And his name was Laughter, to remind her that she laughed, her and Abraham, the rest of their lives. That's how God is. So, God can do some miracle in your life, whatever it is. He's the God of Jehovah Pila, God of impossibility. I hope you learned a lesson about faith, the promised seed. That's why I titled it Sarai, the promised seed. She's a heroine of faith. She didn't produce this child till she was 90 years old. Abraham 100. Nothing's impossible, God. And that includes you women that might be in the same situation as bearing now. Pray to God to open your womb. I know women that had miracles that was barren and God opened their womb and they had children. Wasn't nowhere near this age. I mean, you're talking 40s or something. But nothing's impossible with God. All right. And also God can provide for you. Don't rob it. Tithes, first fruits, alabaster box belongs to Him. If I'm the one that taught you, bring it to streetpriestministry.org. As Galatians 6:6 says, give to the one that taught you. Good day, good evening, good night to you around the world. May you go in faith in Jesus' name.